Hey, everybody, and welcome to GAMA Perks. My name is David Abelson. I'm the education manager for GAMA, and I'm here with Jordash Perazzo. Did I pronounce that right?
It's close enough.
Seller Slice founder. Jordash, would you introduce yourself and your company for us?
Yeah, I'm Jordash Perozzo, founder of Seller Slice, and we've been helping brands for many years now launch and dominate on Amazon. So that's primarily what we do. A little bit about myself. I'm coming up close to almost 30 years in e-commerce, which is kind of wild to think. So I have a lot of experience, not just on the Amazon platform, but primarily helping brands strategize their multi-channel e-commerce strategies as well.
Great. And it's so great to have you here today talking about this GAMA perk. And we're going to just focus a little bit today on Amazon Marketplace fundamentals. And we're talking with Seller Slice. So let's just jump into the first question. How can smaller game publishers effectively compete on Amazon against larger brands with more resources?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is that appealing to a niche, right? So focusing on what makes your game unique, highlighting specific gameplay mechanics, seems to be something that the industry has yet to unlock, in my opinion. I work in a lot of categories, and identifying problem solution is always the most effective way to sell and advertise a product. And the Gamma community is still churning through what is it that we are trying to solve for. Games solve for many different things when you break it down. For some people, the easiest way to do it is to actually maybe identify why your game is addicting to some people because it's usually fulfilling something for themselves. It's actually deeply solving a problem. I've been working with a client right now that's active with us on even testing advertising specifically on game mechanics, identifying other games that share very specific game mechanics in order to serve that person an ad, bring them to the listing, and sell them the product. So when you deeply get to the core root cause of what makes a game fun, right? What really genuinely is making it fun and what purpose is it serving, you can then market it a lot better. And that's definitely a competitive advantage because the big boys don't care. They solve those problems with big money so that the little guys can do that. Second, optimizing your listing for content. Um, Traditionally, I see a lot more effort and energy in the Gamma space, focusing on things like Kickstarter, and that's awesome. I totally am all in on that. But there seems to be something missing after that, and a lot of content that's missing after the product goes to market in order to facilitate sales on a platform like Amazon. So making sure you're doing all of the deep work with making sure you have the highest quality images, doing your SEO for titles, descriptions, things like that. But also, again, going back to what makes your game special, you need to have content that highlights that. So if you have a game that's focusing on like some rare historical event or setting, you got to highlight that. You got to say why this is unique and exciting, and you can stand out from the crowd really easily on the Amazon platform. I also, point three would be to leverage your community. Um, that's something that Gamma has that is extremely special and dear to my heart is your guys' community and the ones that are built within the different games. It's incredible. When I go to the Consumer Electronics Show, I don't really see that. You may see some cult following of people who like Teslas or something, but it's not the same. It's not as special. And a lot of that can be leveraged. It's a massive competitive advantage to leverage that community and to have them help you with your Amazon. Things like helping encouraging them to do reviews, and when they do a review on your product, include a photo, include a video. These are things that set products apart on the Amazon platform miles ahead of everyone else. Not, and Amazon actually knows that. In fact, you will actually get a boost in your search rank because you do these things, and leveraging your community is critical. You can also expand reach outside of the community, looking for new audiences. Amazon ads will let you do that. You can target buyers based on their interests, based on games they bought in the past. And you can even obviously attack your competitors if you want. Sometimes that's fun, right? But introducing your game outside of your loyal following is also critical, and Amazon is the most effective way to reach people that aren't in that community. Um, and then besides that, leveraging promotions. Cyber Monday, Black Friday is coming up, and all of you are going to go to Amazon most likely, and there will be a holiday section populated with games, and even tabletop categories and holiday stores, as we call them. Incredible amount of eyeballs. The numbers that would make your brain melt compared to the eyeballs you get at a show you attend. If you're not on Amazon at all, you'll never get that opportunity ever.
That makes a lot of sense, which leads me to my next question. And thank you for being so thorough. For a company new to Amazon, what are the first steps they should take to set up their seller account and to list their games on the platform?
Oh, well, someone listening may actually want to do this. You'll probably write these steps down, but there's 5 things you'd want to do. First, you're just going to set up your business information. There's a lot of brands. In fact, I think we've launched over 20 Gamma brands this last year on the Amazon platform, and we often run into bottlenecks when it comes to making sure you have your business details ready to go. So all of your tax information, trademarks, bank account information, you need to make sure you actually have the critical elements to even create the account. Step two, you want to go and create the product listings just like you would on a website. You're going to put in the titles and the bullet points, descriptions of every game you have. You're going to put the best images you have, video if you have it, ideally videos with gameplay, right? And the goal is to make sure that potential buyers understand what it is they're buying. That's the most critical thing. Because if you launch a product and there's a misunderstanding, you'll launch with bad reviews and you will not recover. So it's really important you get that right. You can't mess that up. Product listing creation is critical. Next, you're going to want to decide how you actually want to fulfill your orders. Orders start rolling in. Do you want to ship it yourself? Or do you want Amazon to do it for you? If Amazon does it for you, you can ship in to their warehouse. They'll distribute it across the nation and they'll take care of everything for you. Even a lot of the customer service, for the most part, will be taken care of. So you'll have to decide between what we call FBA or FBM, the M standing for merchant. That would be you, the seller. So you have to decide how you want to fulfill. Some people we work with do both just to make sure they never run out of stock. The fourth thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start advertising. So once you have your listings up and once you're selling, you're going to want to start advertising because you want to start driving traffic. You want to start manipulating Amazon's algorithm, right? Because when you first list, you're nobody. You've got no sales, no data, no history for Amazon to leverage. So you have to force that. Again, tap into your community, have them start viewing your pages, buying the products there, and start driving it up the ranks, and soon you'll get traction. The last step is just a solid business recommendation, which is just track your performance. You want to be going to your business reports and you want to look at how much traffic you're getting, what your conversion rate is. Read every review like it's the end of the world. Make sure you read every single one and you're listening and you're trying to understand the Amazon shopper because it's not always going to be the same as what you experience at a place like Gen Con.
Great, great. That is 5 quick, easy steps to follow. I think we'll get into FBA and FBM a little later, but I've got another question. Uh, uh, Seller Central. What is Seller Central, and why is it important for tabletop game companies to understand how to use it effectively?
Sure. So when you create an account with Amazon to sell, you get access to a portal called Seller Central. You're going to use this portal to list your products, manage your inventory, do your advertising, basically run your entire Amazon business all in a one-stop shop. Um, I think that answers it well as far as what it is. Now, it matters a lot though, because mastering Amazon, I wouldn't have a business if it was easy. Mastering Amazon is a journey. It can take years, and even brands doing hundreds of millions of dollars on Amazon still are trying to master the platform. It has so much depth to it that That is why a lot of companies we work with hire us because of the expertise and the removal of the fail points that can happen. Because trying to do it all on your own can be overwhelming, but for some people it can be quite liberating and fun. And I definitely root for the people who do it themselves.
That's exciting. Uh, could you explain just a little bit the most important metrics that a game publisher might want to track in their Seller Central to ensure their products are performing the best that they can on Amazon?
hmm Well, this is the best part. There's some e-commerce. I'm going to give everyone a degree in e-commerce right now, 4-year college degree for free. All right. There's only 3 ways to grow sales online. Doesn't even matter if it's Amazon. It's going to be increasing your traffic, increasing your conversion rate, and increasing your cart size. That's the only 3 ways. And so all the strategies that you want to implement and do need to fall under those. So we'll start with traffic. I'll give you an example. You're going to want to track metrics like how many impressions, which is how many eyeballs are seeing your listings, and how often people click. So that'd be your click-through rate. You're gonna want to measure those things, and you're always trying to increase those. You want to reach more people. You guys have awesome games. They are fun. Your only job is to tell more people about it, and increasing your traffic is the best way to do it because traffic also means that they are looking at your product. We've all been to our favorite local hobby store and we all pick up the box and look at it. That's the same thing that's happening when someone is on the listing. They're physically have it in their hand trying to decide if they want to buy it. That's point two, improve conversion rate. What is it that's on your box that's convincing people to buy? You probably need to have that same stuff on your listing, if not more on your listing. Because it's Amazon, you have this digital element. You can actually have an entire gameplay video if you wanted to, explaining the game, why it's fun, and reaching people's hearts even, and pulling on their heartstrings to get them to care and want to play this game. So improving your conversion rate is one of the biggest areas of improvement that I see in the gaming space, that where the categorically uh, games are lagging behind those of like consumer electronics. If you all go to Amazon and look up an Apple product, you'll know what I mean real quick. Their content is very good looking and makes perfect sense to try to get people to buy the product. The third would be cart size. We also call that like average order value, like trying to get the most per sale. I'm sure a lot of you at shows try to do that. You try to like, here's buy this with that and that and this, and you get a better deal and things like that. So a lot of you know the strategies that already work for your particular brand. And you can do that on Amazon. You can create virtual bundles for people and create deals on deal days. You can also do advertising where you're upselling expansions, or even doing advertising that suggests a complementary product. If maybe you have a card game and you sell the sleeves to go with it, you want to make sure that those things are connected and clear to the consumer so they buy both together.
That makes a lot of sense. And you get more sales out of it, which of course is the ultimate goal, right?
hmm
So you talked about two things earlier, FBA and FBM. And I just want to ask, what are the key differences between FBA and FBM? And then there's a second part to the question. How should a tabletop game company decide which fulfillment method is right for them? Or I think you also mentioned some people do both. And where would that fit?
Yeah, I get this question every day. Every day. This is the biggest conundrum for most people. I remember the first time in college, my friend came to me and he said, Amazon has this crazy new thing. You ship your product to them and they sell it for you. Back then, eBay was king, and I just shipped stuff myself. And my first response to this guy, I'll never forget it, was, "That's the stupidest thing I ever heard." God had something else in mind and made a joke out of that because this is all I do now. FBA is massive and obviously one of the biggest shipping logistical networks in the world. When you do FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon's going to store your inventory in their own warehouses. They're going to handle everything from the shipping. They're even going to handle the customer service. The biggest benefit to you is you get that sexy Prime badge, and you want the Prime badge. The algorithm loves the Prime badge. You're going to shoot straight to the top more often than not. But also, shoppers can actually click a button to only view products that will arrive by Prime. The Prime customer is a whole new customer. Most people understand the concept of like the Costco customer, but there's now the concept of the Amazon customer. They expect things in 1 to 2 days, and that's critical.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest areas that I see massive room for improvement in the gamma space in particular is the recognition of the people who are alone, the lonely. It's wild, but people don't do the math and understand how far away a hobby store is for the majority of people in America. We all focus so much on the metro piece, but there's the untapped market of the people who are in small communities, rural communities, where the only thing to do is play board games. And that's all they do. And being able to reach those people digitally and get the product to them in 1 to 2 days still to me is something that I feel like it's just underserved. So anytime a brand sets up FBA and their product becomes available, it gives me joy because I know that those people are being reached and it's fulfilling a deep need that I see personally. So you have fulfillment by merchant, which is option 2 for people. And here, the seller, if you're selling, you're going to be completely responsible for the warehousing, the shipping of your own inventory, even the shipping time. So the stress is on you. It's on you. If you get an order, you better get it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Black Friday. I hope you ate enough, food on Thanksgiving because you're gonna be shipping all weekend. Just a fact, right? Um, it can, for some people, be more cost effective, right? The ultimate answer to everything here really comes down to cost effectiveness. It always does. It always comes down to the nickels and dimes. That can often depend on the size of your product, the weight of your product. Is it crazy unique? Does it come in some weird shape that's unusual? Now, luckily for board games, pretty standardized. Most people put them in boxes for the most part, but that's not always the case. And so, what you'll want to do is you're going to want to have someone actually Seller Slice does this. We actually do it as part of our discovery process with a lot of brands where we'll go through and we'll actually run the math. We'll help you. We'll help you identify where you make the most money so that you can make the best choice. In my experience, generally speaking, the best choice is to do both. The primary reason why is going out of stock is the worst thing you could ever do. And you never want to have a situation where Amazon runs out and you don't have any available to fulfill. That's just sad. That's a missed sale. That's a missed potential customer for life that might buy every game you ever make. That is just sad. So most brands will do both, but generally speaking, the advantages, if Amazon is a serious strategy long term for you, you really have to make the FBA work for you. You're really going to want to run the numbers and figure out how to do it. The cost savings come from less customer service that you have to do, less hands-on, and the fact that you actually might get to enjoy your Black Friday. So that's really important too.
That's great. Uh, we've come to the end of this little brief session that we've had, and that was an immense amount of information. But I just want to close by asking the question, what is the member perk offered by Seller Slice to Gamma members? And I think we have a slide we're just going to put up for you that goes along with that. So if you'd
Oh,
like to
yes,
talk
yes,
through
yes.
that, that'd be great.
Yes. So, first things first, we actually have a dedicated member coordinator. Her name is Michelle on staff, and she is always available to everyone at Gamma should they have any questions or concerns. On top of that, for being a Gamma member, everyone actually gets one free case from our Gamma case menu every single quarter. And what that is you get to pick something from a menu, and we just do it for you. Literally, the professional help to do something that you're probably going to need to do anyways, but we do it for you, and it's done best in class for Amazon. If you're not familiar with that or you don't know how to get started, you can email gamma@sellerslice.com, and you can also email Michelle at sellerslice.com directly. She'll make sure you get that menu so that you can actually get that service. Every Gamma member gets that. And that's just included with your Gamma membership. There's no additional fees or cost to that. On top of that, anyone that does do service with us, if you want us to do some hourly work for you, we knock off 50% off the first hour for any hourly service. We also guarantee support until you make your first sale, should you do any launch service. So if it's your first time, maybe all of this is overwhelming, you need someone to help you, we do have a service called Ignite. We do it with you. We literally lead the charge, tell you exactly what you need to do while we do the rest. And we guarantee unlimited support till you get your first sale. So we don't just leave you hanging. We make sure that you get that first sale once you're launched. We also have specific discounts depending on the events. So if you guys ever see us at an event, ask. If you're at a GAMA event, I promise you we are doing something ridiculous for all of our GAMA members just for that event for showing up. In the past, we've given away free services up to $2,000 of free service and things of that nature. So we do
Wow.
that. For this particular service today, if anyone says peanut butter cups to Michelle ever, we'll give you $1,000 off our Ignite program straight up. But only for people that respond and tell her buttercups just because, it's Halloween.
That is fantastic. So that's a lot of member benefits, a lot of perks for members,
It's a
a
lot.
lot of good information all at one time. And we squeezed it into one little tiny package. So I hope we get to have you back to talk about this again in the near future. And I really just want to thank you for your time talking us today about Amazon Marketplace fundamentals. And this is Jordash from Seller Slice.
Appreciate you, David. Thank you.
My pleasure. Everyone, have a great day.